Good morning. It's September 28th, 2024. We're critiquing the news. The item on your screen is from their ABC, and it's from Brisbane Radio. It's a show called Mornings. It's hosted by a chap by the name of Steve Austin. And this particular recording is from Thursday, 26th, 2024. And I've set the recording to 1 hour, 9 minutes and 43 seconds in to the 2.5 hour show. There's an interview going on between Steve Austin and the Australian's journalist Michael McKenna, which I'm sure you'll find interesting. We'll just play a short excerpt for the purpose of critiquing it.
Okay. This is 612 ABC Brisbane. My guests are talking spin or politics in the lead up to October 26th next month, 4 weeks away. Michael McKenna, why are state Labor MPs sitting around waiting to lose the election? As your paper wrote yesterday, I was amused to read that particular story. What are they not doing, Michael?
This was a story by one of my gun reporters, Lydia Lynch, who got some leaks out of... got some leaks. I won't go into it. No, I don't really know it.
No, please do tell us. Please do tell us.
We don't actually talk about who we talk to, even between ourselves. There's a rule. So she's found. She's got a list of the. There's a top table of the top 10 of MPs and or candidates in the Labor Party knocking doors, and how many doors they've knocked and how many calls they've made. And she's discovered that none of the regional MPs or candidates are in that top 10. So
what does that indicate?
Well, you know, the maxim is don't listen to what a politician says, look at what they do. And the inference that we drew from that, certainly, and from some of the conversations Lydia had inside the party, is it seems that these regional MPs have given up. I mean, the successive polls for 2 years have shown that Labor's on the nose in the regions. Labor has privately told us that they expect to lose seats in the regions, particularly in Townsville. So they may have given up, put their feet up. Someone else, though, did say to me in the Labor Party that it could also be a function of if one of these people out in the regions with Labor on the nose is going around and knocking on doors, all they're really going to do is to remind people that they're with the Labor Party, so they're just going to sort of fly under the radar.
I noticed Stephen Miles was there again yesterday, and he said he's going to be there a lot during the state election, and at the same time he was praising Katter's Australia Party while he was there.
Yeah, that's the hope in case there's a minority government and they can form minority government with the Katters. I mean, isn't it interesting that he's back in Townsville announcing a second helicopter? I mean, it's taken him 8 years and 8 years of trouble up there to get one helicopter. Now we've got two in 9 months.
But
Yep, you heard that correctly. Stephen Miles wants to form a coalition with the Katters if he loses a large enough number of seats. Let's just go back to that bit of commentary there.
You're just going to sort of fly under the radar.
I noticed Stephen Miles was there again yesterday, and he said he's going to be there a lot during the state election, and at the same time he was praising Katter's Australia Party while he was there.
Yeah, that's the hope in case there's a minority government and they can form minority government with the Katters. I mean, isn't it interesting that he's back in Townsville announcing a second helicopter?
So, would Katter form a coalition with the Labor Party? Remember, this is just the opinion of a journalist or two at the Australian, which is probably one of the more balanced dead tree newspapers in Australia, but still it's legacy media and it's News Corp, so you just don't know. Well, I don't know. Let's consider Bob's own leadings. Now, bear in mind, I've known Bob for over 35 years personally. He first came to my house, I think, in 1999 when I first started campaigning for the Coranda Range Road, or the alternative rather, the Coranda Range Road, which I'll cover in a separate video shortly. So let's just go to a 2016 newsletter from Bob. So this is the 31st of October. We scroll down a bit. He says in it, Mr. Katter, a proud paid-up member of the CFMEU, which was originally the Coal Miners Union, previously worked as a labourer in the Mount Isa mines. the CFMEU. Boy, that's about as hard left as you can get, isn't it? All right, well, let's have a look at Sky News from 2020, which is just before the pandemic was released on the world. And this is Bob in person with Chris Smith back when he was allowed to be on mainstream TV. And he was on Sky News Australia. So let's just hear it from Bob's own mouth.
The lily pad lefties and the Liberals, they most certainly had their man in Turnbull. So both parties have got lily pad lefties. I mean, they could build the rail line, the Liberals bleating and squealing, they could build the rail line to the Galilee tomorrow. But they don't want it. They want to have it no railway lines, they can blame the Labor Party for it. And because they've got Jackie Trad there, everyone believes it's the ALP's fault, even though it's just as much their fault as the other side. So, there's this lily pad left problem, and it's not hard left. I'm hard left. I belong to the hard left. You're well aware.
Former trade unionist, you were, Bob.
I'm still a member of CFMEU, the real hard line.
Yes.
Call my mob. And,
but you won't let this happen, surely?
So would the Katters form a coalition with Labor and extend the extraordinary collapse into Marxism that Queensland is going through? Well, if Robbie takes his directions from his dad, it's a distinct possibility.